So 24th paragraph. On Pasteur's 70th birthday, his jubilee was celebrated almost like a national festival. Like a national festival, his birthday was celebrated. His jubilee was celebrated. Like Lord Lister, he was honored in his old age by the scientists of all nations. Who is this Lord Lister? The question raises. Lord Lister is the British surgeon. He was the British surgeon, and he was the medical scientist, and he was the founder of antiseptic medicine. And he was honored at his old age. And like Lord Lister, like him, or like Lord Lister, Louis Pasteur was honored in his old age. In his old age, he was honored by whom? By the scientists of all nations. All the scientists from all the nations had gathered over there and they were ready to honor him. At the crowded meeting in the great hall of the University of Paris, the old man was too overcome to speak. Who was that old man? Louis Pasteur. He was at his 70th age. He was 70 years old at that time, and his speech was read. He was unable to speak at that time. He was unable to speak on that moment. He was unable to speak before the gathering, and his speech was read to the distinguished audience by his son. What is meant by distinguished? Confused. The people or the scientists were confused. And his speech, Louis Pasteur's speech, was read to these confused people by whom? By his son. Did Louis Pasteur read his speech? No, it was read by his son. Remember this. The future, he said. Who said? It was these were the words of Louis Pasteur, but were read by his son. The future, he said, will belong to who shall have done the most for suffering humanity. The future is belonged to whom? It is belonged to those people who work for suffering humanity. The humans are suffering, and the future, it is belong to those who help those people who suffer. To the young students, he addressed a special word. To whom did he address? Underline this. To the young students who were addressed by Louis Pasteur. The young students were addressed by Louis Pasteur. A special word. Dear children, this is not only for those young students. Yeah, I agree. These words were addressed by Louis Pasteur to those young students, but today these words are really addressed to you also. First, ask yourselves. You ask yourselves first. What is to be asked? Underline this. What have I done for my education? You would have seen some people who always question, oh, I have learned this education and that education, but that has not done anything to me. But wait, first you ask yourselves that what you have done to your education. Have you given anything to your education? No. Then as you advance in life, yeah, the first step is getting education, and later you will get advanced in your life. After that, the question is the second question. Then as you advance in life, ask yourselves, what have I done for my country? For my country, what have I done? Have I done anything to my country? Have I given my best to my country? No, the answer is no only. Those who have given the best to their country, they don't question. But those who question will not, they truly will not give anything to their country. Anything will not be given to their country by them. So that's why they question it. So, what have I done for my country so that someday that supreme happiness may come to you? Yes, supreme happiness comes when you question it. When you question it to yourself, the consciousness of having contributed in some measure to the progress and welfare of humanity. When do you get the supreme happiness? When do you get the supreme happiness, Sai Priya? How does that supreme happiness may come? Sai Priya? Sai Priya, respond me. Sai Priya, I'm sorry, I'm unable to hear you. Sai Priya, are you there? Shaman,
When we question,
how do you get the supreme happiness?
sir,
Yes,
when
you're
we
right.
question
Hmm.
ourselves,
Yeah, what are the questions?
what I have, what I have done for my education,
What have I done? What have
what
I?
have I done,
Hmm. For my?
then what I have done for my country.
Yeah. What have I done for my education? And then as we advance in our life, we have to question ourselves that what have I
What
done?
I,
What have I done for my country? So the supreme happiness comes from this. Thank you. So that someday supreme happiness may come to you, the consciousness of having contributed in some measure. We have to contribute something to our country in one or the other way. Then only we will get the supreme happiness in some measure to the progress and welfare of humanity. To the progress and welfare of humanity is directly with is having contact with the country, right? When humanity gets progress, the whole country gets that progress. And finally, Pasteur himself certainly knew that happiness. He died in 1895 when he was 75. When Pasteur was 75, in the year 1895, was died. And no name in science is more honored or will longer be remembered. Who will be remembered forever? Louis Pasteur. Because no name, as the writer says, no name in science is more honored. Other persons, other scientists are not honored more than him, more than Louis Pasteur. And will longer be remembered. Who will be remembered forever? Louis Pasteur. So here the lesson ends. So this is the lesson not only for your examination, this is the lesson for your life. So learn something from this lesson. Thank you and see you again. The portion of the test will be sent through your WhatsApp. If you have any doubts, send me a message through WhatsApp. Thank you.